Hi everyone and welcome. I hope you all are doing well today. So for today's Patreon video, it's going to be on this crossover dog collar. It is adjustable, so I am using a Thane adapter for this collar. And we can just get started into the video. So for the supplies that we're going to need today, you're going to need some kind of jig. I have the Speedy Jig Pro right here. This is the smaller version of the Speedy Jigs. If you are not interested in investing in something like this, maybe you're going to make 1 or 2 collars, I can suggest you making a homemade jig. You're going to want to get a board about 15 to 20 inches long. It doesn't have to be super wide, but it does need that length. You're going to want to put 2 nails at the top of that board and 2 nails at the bottom of that board. You want those nails to be centered in the middle on top and bottom. Those nails are going to serve as the tongues that you see here on my jig. I have one on the bottom and then I have one on the top, and that's to hook my work up to. You can also get a tape measure and you can glue down a tape measure onto your board to help you with measurements. I do suggest getting 2 tape measures. They're pretty inexpensive. If you get I think it's the 10-foot one, I think it's 99 cents at Walmart. And like I said, you'll glue one down and then you'll have a backup one to just double check those measurements once you get all your work hooked up. I use the one that's on my jig, and I do have a backup one as well that I use just to double check my measurements. So again, you're gonna want some type of jig. I will have my affiliated link down below for the Speedy Jig if you're interested. The next thing you're going to need is an adapter for this project. So my adapter is 3/4 of an inch in dark hunter green biothane. And if you're not familiar with how to make an adapter, I will leave a link below for you guys. I show you guys how to make the adapter yourself, where to get the supplies from if you're using biothane. If you want to use leather, you can use my same instructions as well, and that link will be down below for you guys. For the cords that we're going to be using today, I'm going to start explaining how to measure out for the double cow's hitch cord, and then I will move on to the other cords. So for my double cow's hitch cord for this project, I am using 550 in dark hunter green as well. So to measure out your double cow's hitch cord, the first thing we're going to want to do is you want to take your tape measure and you want to measure your dog's neck. You want to use a tape measure on your dog's neck. You do not want to use their existing collar and lay that out and measure against that. You will not get the correct measurements, so you really want to measure around your dog's neck with a tape measure. Once you get your measurement, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take that measurement, and for every 7 inches of your measurement, you're going to add an extra inch. The reason for that is because paracord collars are quite thick, and the circumference or the middle part of your dog's collar will be smaller than the outer part once it's finished. So that's why we add an extra inch per 7 inches. So for my project today, my neck size that I'm working with is 16 inches. So I'm going to add 2 1/4 inches more to that 16, and that will give me 18 1/4. So just remember that for every 7 inches, you want to add another inch. Once you have that taken care of, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take our adapter and subtract the length of the adapter from that total amount that you got. So for me, my adapters are all 6 inches long. So for anyone that is thinking about starting a small business doing this, I do suggest keeping your adapters all the same length unless a customer asks for it differently. Then you're going to want to try to accommodate them. But I like to do mine all at 6 inches, so when I do get busy, I already know that this is 6 inches long when I'm figuring out all the other stuff that I need to do. I know that my adapter is 6 inches long. It just makes it a little bit easier on your brain that way. So the way you're going to want to measure out your adapter, first make sure that your adapter is buckled into that very top hole. And then you're just going to lay it out flat, push down on it to make it go flatter because it does poof up a little bit. You're going to measure from the top of your ring, whether it's round or square. I use the square ones. You're going to pull this out, measure from that top all the way down, measure from to the bottom of the ring, and then use that measurement. So like I said, mine are 6 inches long. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the 6 inches from my adapter and I'm going to subtract it from the 18 1/4 that I got from measuring my dog's neck. That's going to give me 12 1/4 inches, and that's going to be the paracord part of my collar. There is a rule of thumb when it comes to working with paracord that for every inch of your paracord part of your project, you're going to use a foot of cord. That is not necessarily true for the center cords in your project, but that is the rule of thumb. You'll find that all over the internet. So if we're going to do the rule of thumb for the project that I'm making, I would need 12 1/4 feet of cord for my double cow's hitch. But because it's the double cow's hitch and I use more cord than I use anywhere else on this project, I'm actually going to be adding 2 extra feet. And that is because you use a little bit of extra in that middle, and I want to make sure that I have enough. So whatever your project is, I would go with an extra 2 feet. You can't go wrong if you have extra cord. But if you don't have enough cord when you finished your project, and everybody pulls at a different tightness, especially if you're new at doing this, that if you don't have enough, you can melt your ends together and keep going. But for me, I don't do that, and I will take the whole thing apart. So I do suggest the 2 feet extra when doing the double cow's hitch for this project. Whatever measurement you have, that's what I would go with, just to make sure you have enough. So if I add that extra 2 feet to the 12 1/4, I'm going to come up with 14 1/4 feet of cord that I need for the double cow's hitch cord. So for my double cow's hitch cord, I used again 550 in Hunter Dark Green, and I have 14 1/4 feet of cord. For the other cords that we're going to be using on this project today, we're going to be using ice green, Kelly green, white, and Golden Rod Dimond. These 4 cords are 550 paracord. The way we're going to be measuring these cords out is, for your ice green, you're going to take the rule of thumb again, which was 12 1/4 feet that you would need. but you're going to subtract a foot from that. So all you need is 11 1/4. So whatever your number comes out to be, you're just going to subtract a foot from that. For the other 3 cords, you're again going to take that rule of thumb of 12 1/4 feet, and you're going to just subtract a 1.5 feet. So you'll need 10 3/4 foot. So whatever your number comes out to be for those 3 cords, I do suggest taking off a 1.5 feet. If you are nervous about how tight you're going to pull, you can take off a foot. But if you don't, you will have extra at the end. And if you just want to go by the rule of thumb with everything, I will leave some links for you guys that want to do that, where you can use the scraps that you do have to make keychains and zipper pulls and things like that, so you won't be wasting the material. For some odds and ends that can be helpful is a pair of scissors, a torch lighter, Gorilla Glue, clear, non-foaming. I also have a knotter's tool here, which is not necessary. You can use this to help squish down your ends, but you can use a butter knife as well. And then I call them a paracord needle. This is also called a fit. And I can make another recommendation here. If you are interested in purchasing one of these, I do not recommend you going to Amazon to get them. I've gotten a few packages from them and they do not work correctly. You really need the end to be able to screw onto your cord, and that's where my problem is with the ones on Amazon. They're failing with that. They're not screwing on at all. I do recommend going to Paracord Galaxy or Paracord EU, whichever you find probably the cheapest for you. I do recommend those 2 places. So the way we're going to start our project is you want to get your cord for the double cows hitch. Mine is the Dark Hunter Grain and 550 Paracord, and you're also going to want to get your adapter. The first thing you're going to do is take your adapter and make it into the 2 pieces. The way I teach you guys how to hook up your double cows hitch on these videos is I do not take the biothene part off of the square ring. We just leave that in one piece. Once you have your adapter apart, the next thing you're going to do is find the center of your cord for your double cows hitch. So what I like to do is take my 2 ends and put them together, and then I'm just going to pull through my top fingers, and you want to keep your fingers steady. And you're just going to keep on pulling through those fingers till you get to the very end. Once you get to the end and you have this little loop, you're going to take your cord that's on the right and you're just going to pull down a little bit. So your right cord is just going to be about 1 inch longer than the cord on your left. So you just want to pull that down. And then we're going to start with the part of the adapter that has the holes through the biothene. What we're going to do with our end here is you're going to take this loop now that you've made, and you're going to go through this square ring. Make sure that your adapter is facing up, and you're just going to take this loop and just go right through it from front to back. And then you can pull on your loop a little bit to make it a little bit bigger, and then stick your adapter through that loop, pull the loop down, and then you have your first cow's hitch when you tighten it up. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your right cord and you want to drag it out a little bit and then make a loop. The next thing you want to do is you want to go again from front to back through this square ring, but you want to be on the right side of the cow's hitch that you just made. So you want to go from front to back and you want to pull that through. Once you've pulled it through, if you've tightened it up and it looks like that, you're just going to pull on this end a little bit, because you want to take your cord now and you want to go from back to front through this loop that you just made. You're just bringing this cord to the front of your work. So you're just going to push that through and pull it, and then you can see how it's at the coming out the front. Next, you're going to take this right cord again and drag it out. You can loop it up again, and this time you're going to go from back to front through the square ring. You can put your finger right here on the right side of your cord that's going through the square ring. You're going to go from back to front and you can pull. Leave your finger here because this will help you create a loop. Pull it through. Then remove your finger from that loop. You can make it a little bit bigger by dragging it out a little bit. You're going to take your right cord, you're going to go down that loop and just pull it through and then tighten it up. And then you have both of your cow's hitches on. And now we'll work on the other side. So you're just going to flip it around. Again, make sure that your adapter that you've already worked is facing up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my right cord and I'm just going to let it fall to the side for now. And I'm going to take the cord on the left. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's the left cord, that nothing got crisscrossed. So make sure that it goes up and it goes around. And it's kind of like making a loop here. And it's going towards the left. What you can do now is just grab those two cords and then create that loop. And what we're going to do now is we're going to get the other side of our adapter. Now, the side that you're working on this adapter, you have your D-ring and then you have your square ring. You're only going to be working your square ring, so you can flip that D-ring up and just make sure that that's out of the way. You're going to take this loop now and you're going to go through from front to back through this square ring. Make sure that your buckle is also facing up, and you're going to go through, and then you can pull out on that loop, and then you can take your end, and it's going to be a little bit more stiffer on this side because you have all of your screws going through, so you might have to make that loop wider. So this way you can just pull your loop over and then down and then tighten it up. And then you got your first cow's hitch on. Now for the cow's hitch on the right, you're going to take your right cord and bring it up. You can make a loop, and you're going to go through that square ring from front to back. So you're going to go from front to back through that square ring and then pull it through. Don't worry about measurement right now. We'll do that when we put it on the jig. Right now you just want to get all your stuff hooked up. So I went from front to back through that square ring. And again, I want to bring this cord to the front. So I'm going to be on the left side of the cord that is going through. And I'm just going to bring this to the front now. So it comes right in between the two cords up the front. Now you're going to go over this cord because you're going to bring it all the way to the right. So take your cord now, go over and all the way to the right. Now you're going to drag it out again and make a loop. Now what you're going to want to do is you want to take your loop and you're going to go from front to back again. No. Take your loop and you're going to go from back to front through your square ring. But you want to be all the way to the right. You can put your finger on your other cords and that will help you create that loop that we did in the beginning or the other side. So you're going to go from back to front through that square ring. Try to keep your finger there and pull it through. And then you can remove your finger and you have that loop again. And now you can take your cord and push it down that loop. And then tighten it up. And then you have both cow's hitches on. And you have your double cow's hitch done. And now we'll put it on the jig. So the way you're going to put it on your jig is you're going to take the top square ring where you have your buckle. That's going to be the top of your work. You're going to slip that over that tongue. If you're using a board and nails, you're going to put that square ring over those nails. And then you're going to put the bottom one. You're going to slip this square ring over that tongue on the bottom, or again, if you have nails. I like to measure once I have all my cords through the top of my work, but if you're working on a board with nails and you're trying to get everything nice and even on there, and your nails are too far away from where your square ring is going to be, say they're further down, you can tie a piece of cord around your square ring and then wrap it around those nails, and then I would go back up through the square ring again and just tie a knot. That will help it stay all the way down. Or you can figure out the length that you need and just put those nails where you need them to be and just slip it over that way. It's whichever way you want to do it. So the way we're going to be starting this project is we are going to be adding our ice green cord. I am using a paracord needle, but if you do not have one, you can melt the tip of your cord and really loosen up your cow's hitches to get the cord through. So I'm going to loosen up my cow's hitches just a little bit, and then I'm going to go from my right to my left through these two cow's hitches. And what I want to do is I want to bring the ice green middle of the cord to the top of my work. So the next cord that we're going to add is the Kelly green. What you want to do here is you want to find the middle of your cord, just like you did in the beginning with the double cow's hitch. You're going to take your two ends, put them together, and just slide the cord through your fingers until you get to the end. and you'll have that loop again. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take this loop, and what we want to do is you have your square ring up at the top of your work. I'm going to scoot this down just a little bit. So you have your square ring here. You want to go straight down your square ring with your loop. So you want to go straight down. And you want to go in between your two cow's hitches and pick up on that loop and just pull it up. You're going to take these ends now at the top and you're just going to push them down the loop. You're actually just making another cow's hitch. And you're just going to pull those through. You don't have to tighten it up just yet, because we're going to feed our other cords through. The next cord that we're going to add is going to be the white. And you are just going to go right through your Kelly green cow's hitch. Just this one cow's hitch. You're going to bring this to the other side, and you're going to bring the white to the top of your work. The next cord that we'll add is going to be the white and Golden Rod Dimond cord, and we're going to do the exact same thing that we did with the white. We're just going to go through that Kelly green cow's hitch, bring it to the other side, bring the middle to the top of my work, and this is where you're going to tighten everything up. You're going to check your measurements, adjust anything that you need to. I suggest checking your measurements a double time, and once we're there, we can get started. All right, once you have everything nice and tight, like I said, we can get started. If you want, you can roll up your ends. It does make it easier to work with. You can use rubber bands to tie them up with. I know not everybody has rubber bands, so I have decided to not roll my ends up, but most of you guys probably follow me on YouTube and know that I love to do that. It does make it a lot easier to work with. So the way we're going to start this weave off is we're going to be starting off on our right side. We are going to be working the dark hunter green cords. If you chose different colors than I'm using here today, the cord that you're going to start off with is going to be your double cow's hitch cord. So what we want to do here is we're going to take our right dark hunter green and we're going to go over this first elongated cord that's on our right. We're going to go right down the center, and then we're going to come out our left. So we're going to go underneath the left elongated cord. So we're going to take the one on the right, go over, straight down the center, and then pull it through, and that will bring you underneath this left elongated cord. And I don't know if elongated is actually a word, but that's what I use for the very long cords in the center that you made the double cow's hitch with. The next cord that we're going to work is the other dark hunter green, and what we want to do here is we want to go over the left elongated cord, straight down the center, and then we're going to bring it out the right. You want to work this cord above the cord that you just put through. So take your one on your left, go over that left cord, right down the center, and now you can pull it through, and it brings you underneath that right elongated cord, and you're also coming out underneath the cord that you previously worked. The next cord that we're going to work is going to be our ice green cord. And what we want to do here is we're going to work the one on the right first. We want to go to the right of the right elongated cord, so you want to be to the right of that. You're going to find your two pieces that are horizontal at the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to take this ice cord on the right and we're going to go over, and then we're just going to wrap it around those two horizontal cords at the bottom, and then we're going to come out our right. So we're going to go over, and then we're going to go around and then come up on our right and just pull it through. Next, we're going to work the ice green on our left side, and we want to stay to the left of the left elongated cord, so you want to be to the left of that. You want to find those two horizontal pieces at the bottom, and again you're going to take this cord, you're going to go over, you're going to go around those two horizontal pieces, but this time you're just going to be coming out your left. So take your ice green, go over and wrap it around, and then pull it up and to the left. For the next cord, you want to find the cord that is directly in the middle, which is our Kelly green. And you also want to find your two horizontal pieces that are directly in the center. So it's going to be in between your two elongated cords. You're going to find those two horizontal cords, and you can pull up on them a little bit. You're going to take your Kelly green on your right side, and you're going to go around those two horizontal pieces, and you're going to come out the right. So go over and around and pull it out the right. For your Kelly green on the left, you're going to go around those two horizontal pieces again, but you're just going to be pulling it to the left. So go over and around and pull it to the left. Next, what you want to do is you want to find the center of your two Kelly green cords. So you want to find the center of those two, which will be the center of your work, and you're going to find those two horizontal pieces again. What we're going to do is we're going to take our white now, and we're going to go over and around and come out the right with the cord on the right. Basically just what you did with the Kelly green, we're just repeating that step. So go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, and you're going to go over and around and out the left. So over and around and out the left. And for the diamond cord, same steps. You're going to find the center of your work again, which is going to be in between the white. Pick up on those two horizontal pieces. It does make it a little bit easier if you pick up on them. Take your diamond on your right side, and you're going to go over and around, and you're just going to come out the right. So go over and around and come out the right. Take the one on the left. You're going to go over and around and come out the left. So go over and around and then out the left. And now you can tighten it up. For the next cord, we can start the weave again. So again, I'm going to be starting off on my right side with my dark hunter green cord. And I just want to do what I did in the first weave. I'm going to take the right, I'm going to go over my right elongated cord, straight down the center, and then bring it out my left. So go over, straight down the center, and then out the left. And that will bring you underneath the left elongated cord. Next, I'm going to take my dark hunter green on my left side, and what I want to do here is I want to go over my left elongated cord, straight down the center, and then just bring it out the right side. And I'm going to work my cord above the cord that I just worked. So I'm going to go over, under, and then just bring it out the right. That will bring you underneath the right elongated cord and also underneath the cord that you previously worked. Now I'm going to take my ice green on the right side. I want to go all the way to the right of my right elongated cord. I want to be on the right side of that. I want to go and find the two horizontal pieces at the bottom. Take your ice green cord and you're going to go over and around those two horizontal pieces, and then you're just going to come out the right. So go over and around and then bring it up and out your right. Now I'm going to work the cord on my left. So I'm going to take my ice green on my left. I want to go to the left of my elongated left cord. So I'm going to come all the way over, find these two horizontal pieces at the bottom, and I want to go over and around those two pieces and then come out the left. So over and around, come up and out the left. So at this spot in the first weave, we worked the green first because that was the cord that was directly center. Now it's the diamond cord. So the green and the diamond cord are going to rotate. The white will always be in the center of those two cords, but the green and the diamond are going to rotate. So now I want to find the center of my work, which is my two horizontal pieces that are directly in the middle. So they're going to be in the middle of your two elongated cords. You can pick up on those two pieces. And again, I want to work the cord that is center. So it's going to be my diamond cord now. I want to take the one on my right, and I'm going to go over and around and come out the right. And I'm going to be on the right side of my cord. I think I might have not said that in the first weave, but you're going around and just directly coming out that right. So go over and around and pull it through. Take the one on the left now. You're going to go over and around and come out the left, and you'll be on the left side of your working cord. So go over and around and you come up the left. So now I'm going to work the white, and like I said, the white is always going to be in between the diamond and the Kelly green. Again, you want to find the center of your work, which is going to be in between these two diamond cords. Find those two horizontal pieces, and you're going to take your white, and you're just going to repeat the steps that you just did with the diamond. So you're going to go over and around, and you're going to come out the right, and you want to be on the right side of your working cord. So you're coming actually in between the white and the diamond. So go over and around, and see how I come in between the two, and you're just going to pull that up. Take your white on the left. You're going to go over and around those 2 horizontal pieces. Come up the left side of your working cord. You'll be in between the diamond and the white. So go over and around. And you can see I'm coming up in between the two. And just pull it. Next, you're going to work your Kelly green. And again, same steps. You want to find the center of your work, which is going to be in between the 2 white. You're going to take the right cord. You're going to go over and around, come out the right, over and around, come out the right side. You're going to take the Kelly green on the left, over and around, come out the right, over and around, and come out the right. And now you can tighten it up. Alright, once you have it nice and tight, we can start the weave again. We're going to be starting off the same way we started the last 2 with the dark hunter green. We're going to take the one on the right. We're going to go over that first elongated cord on the right, and we're going to go down the center and bring it out towards the left. Next, you're going to work your left dark hunter green. You want to go above the cord that you just worked, and you want to go over that left elongated cord down the center and then over to the right. And that will bring you underneath the right elongated cord as well as the cord that you just worked. Next, we're going to take our ice green on the right side, and what we want to do is we want to go all the way to the right of our right elongated cord. Find those 2 horizontal pieces at the bottom. Take your ice green on the right, go over and around those 2 horizontal pieces and bring it up and out the right. Now take the one on the left. You're going to go to the left of your elongated cord, and you want to find those 2 horizontal pieces, and you want to go over and around those 2 horizontal pieces and out the left. The next cord that we're going to work is the cord that is directly in the center, which is now the Kelly green. You're going to find those 2 horizontal pieces that are directly in the middle of your work. So they're going to be in between the 2 elongated cords. You can pick up on them a little bit. You're going to take your right Kelly green cord. You're going to go over and around those 2 horizontal pieces and just bring your cord out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around, and just out towards the right. Sorry, the left. You're going to take the next cord that we're going to work is going to be the white. So you want to find the center of your work again in between the 2 Kelly greens. Take the one on the white on the right and go over. We're going to take our white on our right side. We're going to go over those 2 horizontal pieces and up and out the right side. Take the one on the left, go over and around and up and out the left. Next, you're going to take your diamond cord. You want to be in the center again, so you're going to be in between the 2 white cords. You're going to take the one on the right, take the one on the left, go over and around and out. And then you can tighten it up. Start again with our hunter green, our dark hunter green on our right side, and we're going to go over that first elongated cord on the right, through the center, and then out the left. Take your dark hunter green on the left now, and you're going to go above the cord that you just worked. You're going to go over that left elongated cord, down the center, and over towards the right. Next, you want to take your ice green on the right side. you want to go to the right of your right elongated cord, and you're going to go over and then around those 2 horizontal pieces at the bottom, and then pull it out. Take the one on the left. You're going to go to the left of your left elongated cord. You're going to go over and around those 2 horizontal pieces at the bottom and pull it out to the left. So now you're at the spot where you are going to work the center cord, which is now the diamond cord. So you want to find the center of your work. In between the 2 elongated cords, you'll find those 2 horizontal pieces. You can pick them up. You're going to take your diamond cord now that is on your right. You're going to go over and around those 2 horizontal pieces and pull it up. Take the one on the left, go over those 2 horizontal pieces, and then pull it up. The next cord that you're going to work is the white, and you want to find the center of these 2 diamond pieces. You're going to work around those 2 horizontal pieces again. Take the white on the right, go over those 2 horizontal pieces, around, pull it up. Take the one on the left, go over and around, pull it up towards the left. And now for the Kelly green, which will be worked in between the 2 white. So you're going to go around those 2 horizontal pieces again with the right cord, pull it up towards the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and pull it up towards the left, and then you can tighten it up. Okay, I went a couple of weaves down so you can see a bigger portion done. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to continue this weave all the way down. Always remember that your green and your diamond cord are rotating, but your white is always in between those 2. So I'm going to keep working this until I get to the end. I'll show you guys how I take it off the jig, how I do the tie off, and what it looks like when it's completely done. Alright, so I'm at the end of my collar, and I'm going to take it off the jig, and now we can weave in the top cords. So the 2 cords that are coming, the cords that we're going to start with are going to be the Kelly green cords, and you have a gap in between your work right here and your 2 cow's hitches. So you have this gap right here. You're going to put your Kelly green cords, both of them, in that gap. So I'm just going to stick both of them through. The next cord that you're going to work is going to be the white cord, and what you want to do here is you want to take both white cords and you want to put them directly in the center. So you want to go over your green cords that you just worked. So you're going to take your white on your right side, you're going to go over that green that you just worked and just put it in the center, right in that gap again. Take the one on the left, you're going to go over the left cord of green and just go in that center again. And now for the diamond cords. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to be using a paracord needle to make it just a little bit easier for myself. So you have this hole right here, right in between your 2 cow's hitches. You're going to take both of your diamond cords and you're going to go in that hole. And if you do it this way, the way the cords are laying, you're going to keep that pattern going to the end of your collar. So again, I'm going to go through that hole right there. And now we are going to also work our ice green cords. So I am going to again use a paracord needle. So remember that gap that we did in the beginning of the tie off? You're going to take your ice green that is on your right side, and you want to go in that gap that is on your right. And then you have another one on your left, and that's where you'll put your left ice green. And now you can tighten everything up. Okay, so now we're gonna cut and melt everything, and I'm gonna start off on my side cords, and that's gonna be my dark hunter green, and I'm going to cut about a ½ inch up. I'm gonna snip it. Whoops. I'm gonna fray it out as well. And then I'm going to melt it and then squish it down. Now you can when you're squishing it down, you can use a butter knife. I do like to use the knotter tool because you can kind of roll it. So I'm using a torch lighter, and I'm going to get it nice and goopy. And then I'm just going to roll that down, flatten it out. And I'll do the same on the opposite side as well. I will cut it the same length. And I'll snip it. You don't have to snip it, but sometimes some of the cords are kind of stiff, and snipping it actually helps fray it out a little bit better. And I'm going to melt it, get it nice and goopy. Be careful, because sometimes it can catch on fire. You don't want that, like it just did. And now I'm going to roll it down. And now for the middle cords. So for the middle cords, they're usually not this long. So for the middle cords, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my ice green on my left, and what you can do is you can take these other cords and you can hold them out of the way, because you don't want to melt the other cords. I like to do my cords one at a time, and I do like this little extra that I have so I can hold them out of the way. So cut it about the same length and fray it out a little bit, melt it, and then you can, oops, caught on fire, and then you can squish it down. Again, be very careful. You don't want it, the idea is not to let it catch on fire, but it does happen. So now I'm going to do the white the same way. And oops, I'm gonna squish that down. Hopefully it didn't cool off. Okay, so what happened here is because I missed it kind of flipped off. It was cold enough that it not gonna stick, so I have to do it again. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down the line with the Kelly greens, and then I'll do the white again, and then I will do the ice green, and then I will do these on top of all of that because they're above. You're just going to cut them and melt them the same way. Alright, so once you've gotten all that done, if you'd like, you can use your color as is, but I am going to be putting some Gorilla Glue on my ends that I melted, and that's just for some extra security. So I like to use clear, non-foaming Gorilla Glue. It's waterproof, and it dries clear. And I'm just going to put a couple of dabs on the spots that I melted. And I'm going to smear it around with my finger. Do those ends. And I will let this dry for about, I'm going to say 6 or 7 hours. It's pretty dry here right now, but there's like a lot of snow on the ground. We just had a storm, so it might take a little bit longer to dry. But I'm going to let this dry, and then when I'm done, I'll show you guys what the finished result looks like. I know you see it finished in the beginning of the video, but I like to put it at the end as well.